I live an energetic life. I would say that I live a spiritual life, but I have to bring it down into this physical plane, so to speak, into this secular world. So instead of saying I live a spiritual life, I say I live an energetic life. And to tell you the truth, I'm not happy saying it like that. I don't fit in the world. You think that's a strange thing to say? Take a look at me. Take a look. Do I fit in the world? Do I fit walking down the streets of New York, where they have those metrosexuals? You know, men that look like women carrying babies in the front. You know, men that shave, and even the ones that have facial hair, it's all trimmed and neat. Remember, facial hair is not a beard. If you really want to know, this is a beard. It changes the way you see things, you know. And I understand that this hair is strange. And people don't want to deal with it, because you're living in a secular world. So what I'm doing is I'm going what you would call spiritual. Spiritual would be internal. The outside shell has to actually die. When that outside shell, that body dies, then the spiritual lives. So as you know, I've been forced for many transitions here, and now I've welcomed the transition. Because I'm dead, yet still living. And my spiritual soul lives within me, and energizes it, and enlivens it. So when I'm speaking now, I'm speaking from the spiritual soul, which I absorb, which I shema, which I hear. And that's the ultimate, the word Kabbalah. To receive the hay. Kabal, hay. To receive, to absorb. Because these energies are being given to you at all times, just like sun rays. You don't have to be too active to get the rays of the sun. You receive them. It's no different here for me. And as I've had some dealings with people the last few days, I'm not interested in manifesting in kind of like in a in a secular way. Even my spiritual stuff, I'm not looking to mask in a secular way. And so what this is leading to me, for me, to actually actualize. I'm actualizing from the deaths that have occurred within this house. My mother who died 4 years ago. My father who died 1 year ago. Actually, to the days. And that's why I feel this. And my brother who's dead 5 months, but so his presence is still more here. In this house, where I thought I was in Olam Haba. And then I thought I was expelled from Olam Haba. And this is the story in the Torah. Because Gan Eden, which is a symbol kind of for what Olam Haba is going to be. Gan Eden, the original presence. And then they were kicked out of Gan Eden, and the stories go in units as a replica of what happened in Gan Eden as they keep going out. But the real secret is there was never a fall. There was never a fall. We were always in Gan Eden. We're always in Gan Eden. We never left. You know that famous line in The Color of Money, where Paul Newman at the end of the movie said, "You're back," you know, they asked him or something, and he said, they asked him, "Oh, you're back, you like doing great now, you're back." And Paul Newman says, "I never left." It's the same thing that happened to me with the tennis world. I stopped playing at 31. I never left. My mind never left those matches. I'm waiting for the next match. That's the same concept of waiting for Mashiach. Mashiach is the Nahash, the snake in Gan Eden. We're waiting for a manifestation of Mashiach out here. It's the Nahash in Gan Eden. We never left. The Nahash had the form of the Mashiach had the form of the Nahash in Gan Eden. When one recognizes that, they have elevated. It's only an apparent fall. And this same thing with the spirit. These people have died, my parents and brother have died in this house, but they never left. Maybe their bodies have transformed out, but the presence has never left. And so the spiritual presence in Gan Eden is the spiritual presence of the Olam Haba. And there's no anything. It's all like, it's not an imagination. It's all a development, but a retro development to get you back to Gan Eden. Gan Eden is the world. And so here, as that occurs, then now things are coming to me that I want to give my Kabbalah lectures from the room here, from this house here, from this table where I've studied for 40 years. Because I'm receiving, and that's where the confidence has to come. It's hard to believe that you're the receiver. It's hard to believe that you're in Gan Eden. You see? It's very hard to believe. And this is part of what my Kabbalah is. You see? That it was only an apparent fall. I'm not the first person to say this. You know. But always know that in reading the story of the Nahash is the Mashiach. Now how could that be? In my lectures I'll be giving my symbol and be able to show you this. The underlying aspects of Judaism itself are the foundation for all secular philosophy. One of the real geniuses was Hegel. He had a concept in his dialectics called Aufheben. It's to lift up. The positive, the thesis, merged with the antithesis. It's negative. And formed a synthesis. And the whole synthesis lifts up. You get lifted up by the negative. This concept of lifting up, Aufheben, is the concept of teruma. That's what the word teruma means. To lift up, to Aufheben. So now for those, I remember studying 20 years Hegel. Quite frankly, I considered myself an expert on Hegel. If I had studied Torah, seriously as a child, I would have known that he got the idea from teruma. Because teruma, you Aufheben the tevel into the teruma, to the kodesh. I throw that in because every concept, you don't think Freud came up with one concept that isn't in the Torah, do you? Or in Jewish thought, Hitbodedot is the Freudian hour, where you talk to God for an hour a day. You know, in original psychoanalysis, an analyst was behind the screen. Just like, so you never saw him, so you just spoke. And that's what Hitbodedot is. You don't see Hashem either. Just speak. So all these things have Jewish origins. If you study the Jewish opus, the Talmud, Torah, the codes, everything in the secular world has a Jewish origin. And they think they're inventing these things. So, I'm going to start to get serious with this. Instead of deflecting and think let somebody else do it. I have to do it because I'm receiving these energies in this house here. In this house for me, in this table that I'm sitting at right now, where I've eaten all my meals. And even since the death of my father, I haven't eaten out. I've just eaten meals here. And this is my Mishkan. This is my Mishkan. I'm studying hard. And that's where I receive my pleasures. The true Jewish pleasures, the study of Talmud, Mishnah. Power of oral Torah, above the ability to read. These are very deep issues. And I'm going to be taking a more external role now. Even maybe doing it in the park. Because I feel for some reason it's been in a shell. In the synagogues, in the seats of synagogues. and security people standing outside a synagogue. What a joke to have a security man where God is the security. Whoa. So there are a lot of things that I don't fit into, as you can see. But there are a lot of things that I can see that you don't fit into.